Gold, one of the most sought-after commodities in human history, has always found a way of capturing our excitement and imagination. From the beginnings of currency to treasured artifacts, this multifaceted commodity is the gold standard for storage of value and is integral to the tech revolution of the 21st century. Sassy Gold continues this journey with their flagship Foremore Property in the prolific Eskay Camp in British Columbia's Golden Triangle, as well as the key strategic ownerships in Gander Gold, Max Power, and Galloper Gold. This is their story.
I think it's going to be so big it will go down in history as the greatest. Honestly, please believe me. I know the mining industry. I know exploration. I've been saying this right along, not just today, but I've said it months ago. Now you watch what happens here.
Well, welcome to Smithers, BC. The flight is over, but we still have a 5-hour drive before a helicopter to base camp, so we gotta get going.
I'm Mark Scott, President and CEO of Sassy Gold Corp, and we're currently driving on Highway 37 North, just south of the Eskay Camp, on our way to rendezvous with the helicopter to fly into the Foremore Gold Silver Project. Between Smithers and Terrace, a few hours north of there, you find the Eskay Camp, and we're on the road on the way up there now. Smithers and Terrace both have great infrastructure that support the exploration and the mining industry in the Golden Triangle, and specifically in and around the Eskay Camp, with a number of drilling contractors and prep labs and assay labs and helicopter companies based in those two towns, which are both about 4 or 5 hours away from the Eskay Camp. We have a new drilling contractor this year, ITL Drilling, who are in a JV partnership actually with the Tahltan Nation, Tahltan Central Government. So it's great to have them on board, and they've been doing a fantastic job in the first few weeks of drilling. Production's been good, and we like what we're seeing in the core so far. So we always reserve judgment until we have the assay certificates back from the lab later on in the process, but so far so good.
We're heading into Sassy Gold's Foremore Project, located in the prolific Eskay Camp that boasts over 186 million ounces of gold in 43-101 resources alone, among multiple companies. This unique area of the Golden Triangle is home to iconic mines like Eskay Creek, Snip, and Brucejack, with the latter currently being in production as one of the highest grade gold mines in the entire world. All of these, including Foremore in the northern part of the Eskay Camp, date back to the early Jurassic Age. This time period is well known for how active our Earth was that ultimately created the abundance of minerals currently found in this incredible district. The Westmore Discovery Zone. This never even existed just 3 years ago. Receding ice and snow have revealed gold-bearing quartz veins, some of them meters wide at surface, running all the way down the mountain towards the glacier on the eastern side. 1,000 surface samples and 18 drill holes in 2020 and 2021 have returned impressive high-grade gold and silver. Now, it's still early in the game, but Westmore's been the fastest grassroots discovery in the Eskay Camp in recent history. This target was completely off the radar, with no previous drilling or systematic sampling until Sassy's prospecting crew made a surface discovery late in the 2019 field season. The very large Westmore granodiorite intrusive, hosting the gold-bearing quartz vein mineralization, is being interpreted as a potential heat engine and is a prime target for Sassy Gold.
We are currently on top of Westmore Mountain with CEO Mark Scott of Sassy Gold. Mark, thank you for your time.
Great to be here.
Well, I want to talk about this. I know there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to Sassy Gold, but right now this is where you first started having your drilling. This is when you had some incredible results in the past little while as well. Can you explain to investors what Westmore Mountain is?
Sure, we're standing at a higher elevation on the Westmore intrusive, which is basically a plug of granite that formed a couple 100 million years ago and was intersected 190 million years ago by these quartz veins that have a bunch of high-grade gold in them. First discovery was made up here by our prospectors just north of where we're standing in 2019, and 2020 we took hundreds of samples and started drilling it right away. In 2021 had quite a few high-grade drill intersections just south of where we're standing.
Yeah, and we're soon going to let investors see about the bottom of Westmore as well. But before that, we're in a very special place. We're in the prolific Eskay Camp. Can you explain to investors why you believe this could be the next Brucejack, the next Snip?
Well, the Eskay Camp is home to the Eskay Mine, the historic Eskay Mine, which is the highest grade gold mine in the world back in its day. And the new discoveries that are being made here in and around this district with seasonal snowmelt melting and giving a longer season and glaciers receding, there's a lot of new ground to be prospected and explored, and that's exactly what we're doing here at Westmore, especially down at the lower elevations where we're going to be drilling the first 3 ever drill holes at the lower elevations on Westmore this year in 2022.
Yeah, and I know that we're obviously thousands of meters into the sky, and we're in the middle of BC mountains right now, but right beside us is it's very important, because we always talk about logistics. We always talk about, if you do find something, are you able to then make it a mine? Can you quickly tell investors about the neighboring camps and infrastructure around here as well?
Well, there's a cut for a road that was created quite a while ago that leads to the Galloper Creek mine site, the planned Galloper Creek mine site. And probably more importantly, their concentrator, which is planned it's only maybe 1,500 meters from where we're standing, although you can't see it over the next hilltop. But there's a large concentrator planned. That means there will be a road. That means there will be power. There certainly is lots of water in this area. And sort of in more of a micro perspective, these veins are quite steeply dipping, which will aid in the mining of them if and when we get to that point down the road.
Yeah, and exciting to hear. And I know that you're saying, as we said at the very beginning of this interview as well, you've just moved the drill from up here down to Lower Westmore, where those quartz veins are. Let's head over there right now and see what we're doing over there as well.
Veins at the bottom of Westmore, approaching the glacier, are being tested by SASY for the first time this summer after a channel sample discovery last year. These very steeply dipping quartz veins have a measured thickness at surface of up to nearly 8 meters. The geo team has yet to find the main source of this high-grade gold mineralization at Westmore, but this lower part of the intrusive may reveal some secrets. It's now up to the drill bit to get the answers.
It took 4 hours to get this drill from the top of the mountain down to the quartz veins. It's all ready to go. We just need a geo to come here, make sure it's pointed the right direction, and get this drill started. We're now at Lower Westmore, where the drill behind us was just set up. It was just flown down here from your Upper Westmore as well. We are about to drill right into the quartz veins that are just about 20 meters behind us. Can you explain to investors what this drill is doing here and what you hope to find?
So this is the lowest elevation we've ever drilled at Westmore. There's never been any previous drilling down here. Just behind where the camera is sitting at the moment, there are a couple of quartz veins that are quite wide at this point and disappear out under the glacier. So where we've tested previously hundreds of meters in elevation above this location, now we're testing down lower to test the continuity of the mineralization in the veins in this part of the intrusion.
Yeah, it's really exciting and interesting to know that these quartz veins were not visible just 2-3 years ago. It's only very recently due to that ice receding when Mike Middleton found that and decided that this is somewhere we should drill. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, it's true. A lot of this lower elevation ground was covered by snow and ice quite recently, and I mean, that's the real reason Westmore never got the attention it deserves historically, and that's why we're here. We have some good channel sampling in the veins down at these lower elevations from 2021 work that we did, and now it's time to test it with the drill bit.
As the sun sets on our first day at Sassy's base camp, you can't help but feel the excitement of wanting to know what lies beneath Westmore. The amazing mineralization at surface here reminds you of that childhood curiosity of every rock you would pick up, wondering where it came from and how it took its form. This is a curiosity that never left Sassy Gold's lead prospector, Mike Middleton.
somewhere around here there was a little bit of gold values in here, so I sent the guys up here to take a look at this. And then they walked down the hill and found that quartz vein, and that's the original discovery for the Westmore.
We're here with Mike Middleton. You've been prospecting in the Foremore property for since 2004, so it's been quite some time. Can you explain to investors what you've been doing over these years, but also what led you to thinking that Westmore would be a high-grade gold discovery zone?
Okay, yeah, well, the Westmore, we knew there was gold here because we saw it in float down below. We've been chasing it up. Every time the ice and the snow retreats, we've been following it up the hillside.
Yeah.
But we never really got a good glimpse of it until recently when the snow completely disappeared up here.
Yeah.
So I sent the prospecting crew up here in 2019 because they were checking out some of these sediments.
Yep.
And there's a bit of a gold kick up here. And Hervé, being Hervé, he walked down the hillside, found a quartz vein loaded with gold.
Yeah.
And that's what started us up here.
Yeah, and it's fascinating too because you've now been drilling up here. You've been drilling on the medium side of this this mountain, but also now the lower end, where those veins just 2 or 3 years ago weren't visible. Now you saw them. Can you quickly explain what you hope to be able to find there in terms of continuation of those quartz veins?
Well, we're chasing the galena mostly. So whatever vein has galena on it, we're pretty sure has gold on it.
Yeah.
So far, it's been panning out. If you have 0.5 to 2% galena, there's gold.
Yeah.
So the lower vein, we did some channel sampling last year or the year before, found the galena, found the right amount of galena, and sure enough, the assays came back with good gold values. So now we're down there drilling that to see how big it is.
Yeah.
It's a real neat one too, because it's right in a dilation zone. So on surface, it's nice and wide, but we're hoping when we start drilling it, it's going to be even bigger.
It's not just Westmore that's caught your attention. If you were to pick something that throughout this property for Sassy Gold that's really standing out that you're really excited about, what would it be?
Wow. Okay, so we got the Moore Creek corridor going this way. Fantastic mineralization going through there, and it's a volcanic massive sulfide. It's reworked, but it's a volcanic massive sulfide. 8 kilometers from here, we have the Rhino Zone, and that's 111 meters long, up to 7 meters wide of just pure pyrite. Now, it's not exciting, it's only pyrite, but that's the outer extent of a VMS system. That's the outer pulse of it. So that gives us 8 kilometers to work. Now we're trying to tie that back to our SG zone, which is two mountain ranges away. And that just opens up this whole area. I mean, there's so much potential here. Oh, and then we got the Sunday zone. Yeah. Sunday zone could be the feeder zone to the SG, which is also tied in with the rider. Just huge, huge.
It's important to note for investors that outside of these exciting target zones within the 146-kilometer Foremore project, Sassy Gold has executed on other key strategies that provide a wealth of opportunity for existing shareholders. A strategically located uranium property in Saskatchewan gives Sassy an opportunity for winter drilling ahead of the summer exploration season in the Eskay Camp. Sassy also owns 5 million shares of Max Power Mining, along with major positions in 2 exciting grassroots Newfoundland gold explorers, Gander Gold and privately held Galloper Gold, which is soon to go public. These investments provide potential non-dilutive capital and have a combined value of $15 million, representing almost the entire market cap of Sassy Gold. This further underscores the case that this company has a lot of upside potential in front of it that investors should be excited about. The end of this glacier leads us away from the Westmore Discovery Zone and right into the 8-kilometer long strike of mineralization known as the VMS Corridor, another high-value target zone for Sassy Gold.
Mike, we're now at the toe of the glacier where we are right now used to be under ice just as early as 2019, just a few years ago. And we're at the beginning of the VMS Corridor. Can you explain why this is so important and why is this such a strategic target area for Sassy Gold?
Well, it's the very beginning of our VMS system that we've been able to uncover so far. It looks exactly like the rest of our mineralization going all the way down the corridor. It's the first stuff we've seen this far to the west, so it's really exciting that way that we've been able to expand it almost 8 kilometers now from here all the way to the Rhino. The mineralization here is absolutely spectacular. It's sitting in the right host rock, and we see this combination all the way through the corridor. Now, the most important thing to me is I think we have an answer to a lot of our riddles. And I think it's that main fault zone that runs through here has offset everything. Now, if we can figure out what that offset is, we know where to go and look for the expansion for the BRT and the rider zones up on the cliff faces. To me, that's fantastic, if we can figure it out.
And for those that don't understand, what is the VMS Corridor? What exactly are you looking for here?
Well, it's a volcanic massive sulfides. So what we're looking for is these massive sulfide pods that are on layers and layers as the black smoke are spewed out more mineralization onto the seafloor. Now what we're looking for is basins that acted as a trap to these particles. And this is one of them, BRT is another, and we're starting to see these stacked horizons going up now. So if we can tie them all together, we'll have a good idea of where to do future exploration, where to drill or where to target drills. And this is a good one because this is the very beginning. It has great exposure, it's easy to walk. So it's a great start for us.
Yeah, and what type of minerals? You were cracking over some rocks here as well, and it was remarkable what we were seeing. We'll show our investors right now as well, but what were they seeing in a rock sample like this?
Well, we have 20% combined lead zinc. We've got great copper, we've got good gold and silver values coming out of here. And it's almost identical to the BRT horizon. So it shows that we have that multiple pulses for the black smokers, which we need to make it a feasible deposit.
We now hop into the helicopter for a short trip just a few kilometers down the VMS Corridor to the BRT Zone, another previously drilled target by this team.
Mike, we're currently here at BRT. This is halfway down the VMS Corridor. Can you explain to investors what you got from these holes here and what this site means to you?
Okay, well, BRT, once again, it's another volcanic massive sulfide horizon. We've been able to track it quite a ways down the hillside here, but then we lose it up top. Now, I think part of that is because that north zone fault has offset it once again. We do have the VTEM survey that says it continues up that way, but we still have to go up there and explore it. So there's more prospecting to be done here. Hopefully some more drilling to be done here. It's a pretty active area. So once again, you look at the mineralization and it's almost identical to the stuff at the toe. And we continue on the hillside, we get to the rider, it's identical again. So we see these different horizons and they just continue. And that's a continuation of these horizons that make it so exciting. That means it's been a really active system.
Well, fascinated to hear and appreciate once again for your time and this incredible view behind us as well.
Yeah, this is a nice one, isn't it?
There's a lot of opportunity with Sassy Gold as their drills continue to search for the source of mineralization at Westmore, along with several other key exciting targets in their Foremore project. Since 2017, the Eskay Camp has seen multiple companies go from 10 to 30 million market caps to over 500 million in very short order. Sassy is well positioned to join those companies as their search for a new world-class mine continues in the prolific Golden Triangle.